Hey, today we're going to talk about comparing and contrast different genres. So, when we talk about this, genres usually means when you hear it talk about different types of books, like different styles. Previously, we talked about science fiction as a genre of fiction, right? But it can also mean different types of media, different ways to present it, like a movie versus a book. And that's what we're going to focus on today. Contrast always means how things are different, and compare can mean how things are the same or different. So by contrast two things, I'm only focusing on how they're different. But when you see compare and contrast written together, you're usually saying compare means how they're the same, contrast means how they're different. However, I do believe that compare, you could just say, hey, we're going to compare different genres, and that can still include telling how you're different. When you see them together, compare is the same, contrast is different, and genres is the type of media that you're looking at. So media is just a type of communication. So that could be like social media, like Twitter or TikTok. It could mean like a film, a movie. It could be a text message. It could be a book. Whatever it is that you're communicating with is media. So we have All Summer in a Day, the movie versus the book. So last week we read the book. This week there's a short film. So it's about 30 minutes long to watch. We want to compare and contrast them. Specifically, we're going to contrast them. How are they different? So a couple things that I noticed that were different in the movie and the book. So in the movie, Margot has a friend. And I would have thought that would have made me feel good. Like, okay, Margot seems to have a friend, whereas in the book, she doesn't necessarily have that friend. So that kind of makes it different. But I felt that that made me even more frustrated with the selfish behavior of the students when they forgot Margot was in the closet and her friend just like went outside. Her friend didn't know Margot was in the closet, but her friend went out, got distracted by the sun and went outside and never thought about Margot the entire time she's out there until it's like, oh, the sun's going away. And she's like, where's Margot? And everyone's like, right? But I still felt my enjoyment. So I enjoyed the story, but it did upset me at how selfish all the characters were behaving when it came to like, oh my goodness, the sun, let's forget about Margot and just leave her locked in this closet. Both times I don't think the intention was to lock her in there the whole time, but it ended up that way because they kind of got distracted. Another difference in the movie versus the book is that in the movie it explains to us like at the time Margot gets locked in the closet, the teacher's not there, and in the movie, Margot got upset because they thought the sun wasn't coming out, and she ran out of the classroom, and the teacher went to go look for Margot. Well, during this time, the teacher's looking for Margot somewhere, and then all of a sudden, the Margot comes back to class because she hears the rain stop, and she's like, "It's coming out," and that's when they end up shoving her in the closet, and the teacher is looking around for Margot. Finally, Margot's in the closet, the kids are all outside, and the teacher comes out, and she's like, oh, look, the sun. Why'd you guys come out without me? And at no point does she think, I was just looking for Margot. Where's Margot? Right? And so it's just, yeah, the easily distracted. But I think that's just, that kind of emphasizes the whole point that these people hadn't seen the sun in so long. And they became very self-centered and selfish around the idea and stopped thinking about, everyone around them and were just kind of thinking of themselves. So that to me was a big theme here, is that whole lesson of like, don't be selfish and try to think of others too. But that can be hard when there's certain things in life like the sun that you just don't have anymore. So that's your assignment, is to compare and contrast the movie and the book. And yeah, that's all.